This is Paul. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking in this dictionary. Yeah. They have what's called the cornerstone, a stone that forms part of the corner of a building's foundation. Yes. Yep. And, when you think about a cornerstone, there's always a big question about how certain things have happened. In the Bible, they talk about the cornerstone, Jesus being the cornerstone of the body of Christ, and how we are fitly joined together. But I noticed something about cities that are incorporated, and they usually have like a First National Bank, or they have that one building that was built with the cornerstone of the city. Yeah. And when you think about codes and zoning, and how did you get from that building that was the cornerstone of a city when they were first incorporated? Downtown they have what's called the First National Bank, and there's a company that, well, I have a great amount of ownership of. I might not own all of it, but they're involved in what's called magnetism. They do some really great things with magnets. And I'm involved in a lot of innovations that a lot of people have never even heard about before, except I document them in emails and in YouTube and different places like that. But I'm just going to need to know when every city was incorporated in every county of the United States. Yep. Now, I know there are a lot of those that are oaths of office that were elected to being a commissioner or a judge or appointed to a Supreme Court justices, and they say, well, I'm the Supreme Court of XYZ state, and that state was incorporated at a certain point, and they had incorporations and a state seal, and they had to fill out all these forms for the United States federal government to actually acknowledge them as a state. Then there are the counties of the state that had their own. It's kind of interesting how the United States has developed for the last 200 and approximately 50 years. You remember that ratification on Article 7 that you violated? Yes. Well, violating the Constitution is the very cornerstone of the judicial system of the United States. Actually violates the incorporation of every state of the United States. As I mentioned, today's Father's Day. I'd made some videos yesterday going through those documents about that amendment number 14, and a lot of people would say that's a big one. Now, when we go through the actual incorporation of every state of the United States, I need to know, okay, when was it that the states were formed? Yes. Who was it that ratified the Constitution at the time of the state's incorporation? Yes. Who was it that had drawn the boundary lines of each of the counties? Then the county seats in the various locations. When was the actual first building built that was built under the incorporation of a county or a city? And then get me the incorporation of every city and every county. Yep. Now, as difficult as you would think that it would be to take every asset of every city. Yes. Let's say I found out the city of Squim's police department didn't want to enforce the Constitution of the United States. I could put every city incorporated in every county back to its original structure before they were incorporated as cities. We wouldn't have cities anymore. We'd just have counties. Now I can actually sue for the dissolving of every incorporated city in every county. Pow, 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 pow. Now a lot of people say, well, what good would it do if we didn't have any cities anymore? We just had counties. Well, let's say I was going to take every asset of every county, and the counties would say, well, we actually have cities incorporated in the counties. I'm like, not anymore, you don't.